Hello, all my dear student friends. Welcome to this session. We are studying the first chapter of the subject Power Engineering and Refrigeration. The first chapter is Internal Combustion Engines, and today we are going to study the indicator diagram. Mainly, we are going to study the actual indicator diagram. What is the indicator diagram? Indicator diagram is nothing but the indication of the variation of the pressure of an IC engine in one cycle. So you can see here I have shown the indicator diagrams. Two indicator diagrams are shown. One is the theoretical indicator diagram and other is the actual indicator diagram. Now in these two indicator diagrams you can see that pressure is plotted on the y-axis and volume is plotted on the x-axis. So the variation of pressure can be seen. Now the variation of pressure can be seen according to the volume. We can see that how the volume changes. But here what is important is that the variation of pressure is plotted in one cycle. Actually, this is the variation of the pressure according to the crank angle. So, in 4-stroke cycle engine, in this case diesel engine, there are 4 strokes: suction stroke, compression stroke, expansion stroke, and the exhaust stroke. In each stroke, the piston moves from the top dead center to the bottom dead center, or the bottom dead center to the top dead center. So the angle covered is 180 degrees. So here actually the pressure variation is shown with the variation of the angle. Now the range taken is 180 degrees, that is from top dead center to the bottom dead center. But here again we are moving, the piston is again moving from the bottom dead center to the top dead center, again in the next stroke, that is the compression stroke. So in this way the indicator diagram indicates the variation of the pressure which is developed inside the engine cylinder in one cycle. First of all, let us see the theoretical indicator diagram. So this theoretical indicator diagram is very much similar to the PV diagram, pressure volume diagram, which we have already seen. There is one more line shown which is additional, and that line is nothing but this line 1 2. This line 1 2 is shown as the additional line. So what is this line? This line 1 2 refers the constant pressure line, atmospheric pressure line, or the atmospheric pressure is constant here. So this 1 2 line is shown as horizontal. So theoretically this line 1 2 is coincides with the atmospheric pressure. So here you can see that the suction strokes takes place. The process 1 2 is nothing but the suction stroke, and during the suction stroke the charge is entering inside the cylinder. Suction stroke is followed by the compression stroke. This is the compression stroke. So next, at the end of the compression stroke, exactly at the end of the compression stroke, the fuel valve is open. Here you can see FVO means fuel valve open, and at the end of the this process, fuel valve is closed. So this process is nothing but the process of injection of fuel. So here at point 3 the process of fuel supply starts, at point 4 the process of fuel supply stops. So we call this process 3-4 as the process of heat addition at constant pressure. Now the process 4-1 is the expansion process. During the expansion process we know that pressure is reduced, and finally this last process is nothing but the process of heat rejection at constant volume. So this is nothing but the theoretical indicator diagram. So theoretical indicator diagram is actually nothing but the PV diagram of the engine, which we have already seen. Only thing is that one additional line 1 2 is drawn here. So that line coincides with the atmospheric pressure line, and suction takes place along this line, and at the end the exhaust is also taking place along this line. So during the exhaust, the motion is from right to left. So this is the motion from right to left during the exhaust. So during the exhaust stroke, all the exhaust gases are removed out from the cylinder, and theoretically the pressure remains constant, and that is equal to the atmospheric pressure. But practically there are so many differences. There is lot of variation between the theoretical indicator diagram and the actual indicator diagram. So this is the actual indicator diagram. Now this actual indicator diagram we are going to draw in detail later on in the next slide, but right now we will discuss that why there is a variation between the theoretical indicator diagram and the actual indicator diagram. So the reasons for variation or the deviation are nothing but inertia effect. So inertia is nothing but some time is required for any process to accelerate. At the beginning the process is very slow, and it takes some time for the process to gain the speed. For example, when the air is entering inside the engine cylinder, the charge is entering inside the engine cylinder, it will not enter all of a sudden. At the beginning the flow rate will be very slow, and the flow rate will increase gradually. The valves will not open all of a sudden. It will take some time for the valve to open, and though this time is very small, but since the engine speed is very high, you will find that a small crank angle indicates very few microseconds. So if you take crank angle of 30 degrees or 20 degrees, so this rotation of the crank takes place in very few microseconds, and therefore since the engine speed of the engine is very high, the time is very small, and the opening of the valve, comparatively the time required for the opening of the valve and the other processes is large. Therefore the inertia effect becomes important. Now there is friction. When the valve is opening, then there is friction. When the charge is entering inside the engine cylinder, there is friction between the charge and the small inlet valve, small inlet opening of the valve. When the exhaust gas leave the engine cylinder, that time there is friction between the exhaust gases and the small outlet of the exhaust valve. So friction is also one of the reason why there is deviation between the theoretical indicator diagram and the actual indicator diagram. The valve will provide some resistance for opening or closing, as well as it will provide some resistance for the flow of the charge, maybe inside the cylinder or outside the cylinder. There are several reasons for delay in the time. Always there is some delay in the time. No process can take place all of a sudden or instantly. For example, the valve cannot open instantly, the valve cannot close instantly. So there is always a time delay. So we have seen that valves do not open or close instantly, and due to this there are some deviations that the corners are rounded. There are no sharp edges, there are no straight lines, there are no sharp edges. So you can see that the corners are rounded in the actual indicator diagram, and pumping loss is also indicated in the actual indicator diagram, because unless there is some difference in the pressure, the fluid cannot flow. So whenever the pressure inside the engine cylinder is less than atmospheric pressure, then only air from the atmosphere will enter inside the engine cylinder. Now in order to remove the exhaust gases out of the engine cylinder, the pressure inside the engine cylinder should be slightly more, then only the exhaust gases will move out of the engine cylinder. The exhaust gases are required to be driven out of the engine cylinder, and the fresh charge is required to be sucked inside the engine cylinder. For this, some power is required, some power is lost, and that is called as the pumping loss. So this is about the comparison between the theoretical indicator diagram and the actual indicator diagram. Now let us study